Okay, so this time we'll look at question 3 from chapter 2 revision questions, and we've got to simplify an equation again. We've got 16e squared divided by 2e. Now, it's possibly easier to rewrite the division in the first instance as a fraction type of division. So we'd have 16e squared over 2e, and so that will help us to simplify this equation slightly. Again, even easier to solve, I think, is if we take out the e squared term and rewrite that in a different way as well, and actually put in essentially the multiplication signs and actually take out the squared and make it as an e times e type situation, actually write the sum out in full and do that for the bottom one, so 2e being 2 multiplied by e. And so what we then have is a kind of long-handed way of rewriting the equation that we started with, but this now allows us to simplify this equation, I think, a little bit easier, because what we now look for is common terms on the top of the equation or on the bottom of the equation. And what we can do is essentially identify that we have an e on the bottom and an e on the top. And in that situation, e divided by e, or a number divided by the same number, will be equal to 1. And so what we can do is ultimately cancel those numbers out. So they just get eroded from the equation. And what we then can do is see that there's no more e terms within that fraction essentially there. And so we don't take the e any further. But then what we do have is 16 divided by 2, which is obviously 8. And so that then allows us to simplify the equation down now to 8e, because 16 divided by 2 being 8, left with just the e on top. Common issues would be people trying to possibly square root 16 and getting 4, etc., and things like that. But if you take the terms as individual entities, essentially take the numerical term and take the algebraic terms and separate them out, it becomes a little bit easier to simplify down, I think, if you go, and hopefully 8e becomes a little bit easier to see as a solution for that one.